I wouldn't have been sat down and had the talk as such. It was kind of left up to ourselves.
In the absence of any other sources of information, what else can they rely on but television?
I definitely think a lack of information is actually a danger to most people.
I would always be very conscious of always being able to talk to them about anything.
They influence you so much, and I don't think anybody really realises how much they do influence you in things they say and things they do.
My parents had no input really into it. I'd rather they did though.
Parents have an idea that they have to give their talk about sex, whereas what we're really talking about is preparing them for life.
When the children look for information, depending on the age as it went along, we would give them the information they needed to know.
It's only basic that you should be able to talk to your parents above anybody else about whatever you want.
The world gives a lot of messages about sexuality, but only you, the parent, know how your child really feels inside.
Talking openly about sex is never easy, especially with our children. It doesn't come naturally to many of us. We feel embarrassed and awkward, but we know children need to hear about sex and sexuality from their parents. This programme is aimed at parents to help you communicate with your children around the subject of sex and relationships, to help you find your own voice and put yourself in the conversation with your children. Then hopefully you can avoid the pitfalls our TV reality family faced when they took on the challenge.
It's day 54 in our real-life house, and things aren't going too well for our TV family. Last night, Real Life set the task for the O'Connell parents to talk openly and honestly with their teenagers about sex. It's midnight, and Fionnuala has a lot on her mind.
We do talk to them in an open and honest way, don't we? Don't we?
Yeah.
Barry, you're going to have to talk to Connor, though.
About what?
You know, the talk.
That. Listen, let him talk to him about it in school or something. They'll tell him more than I will.
You have to do it. You're his father. He wants to hear it from you. That's it, then. It's settled. You'll talk to him, and you'll start tomorrow, right?
It's the next morning, and Fionnuala still has a few things on her mind.
Aoife, lovey, you do know that if there was anything you wanted to say to me, or to your dad, about anything at all, that you could talk to us, right? As if.
Not to worry, love. You did your best. Now, we get to see the master in action. She's a fine-looking thing. Popular with the ladies. Speaking of which, your mother asked me to have a word with you about, you know, sex and stuff. So is there anything you want to ask me? And if you're sure you know everything. If you're sure.
Yeah, of course.
Listen, if your ma asks, we have the talk, all right?
Yeah, whatever.
Later that day, Fionnuala tries to make up for some lost ground.
Connor, can you help me with these? Look,
I wanted your dad to have a word with you. And I know that he gave you a fiver to say nothing. The thing is, you're going to start getting attention from girls. And, you know, I wanted you to know the facts. Things like STDs and STIs and contraception, you know, sex stuff. So I thought it was... Connor! Connor!
How are you doing there, Tiger?
Yeah, grand.
All right.
Yeah.
Later, Barry tries to work his magic on his daughter Aoife.
You know, myself and your mother are always there to listen, whatever the problem. You know, if it's a boyfriend thing with Brian,
David.
with David, whoever. Whatever happened to Brian?
There was no Brian.
Well, David then. Well, you can talk to your mother about him.
Okay.
Unless he asks you to do something that you don't want to do, and then you can talk to me, and I'll brain him. I'll brain Brian.
David.
Oh, David. I'll brain David. He isn't, is he?
What?
You know, asking you to do stuff.
To do what?
You know, stuff that you don't want to do.
Oral sex?
Oh, Jesus, Eve.
He's not asking me to do anything.
All right, well, look, I'll see you here at 11:30, all right?
12.
11:30 on the dot.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you later, Dan. She'll kill herself in them heels. Look at the height of them. Jeez. All right, see you, sweetheart. Good night. Safe home. Jeez.
It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
Mary, why do you think it's so hard for families to talk about sexuality?
Well, I think, you know, that clip that we just saw, here we have really good people doing everything they can to try and make it work, and it turns out such a disaster. And I think one of the reasons is that what they are trying to do is do it all in one go. It's not something you do one day, it's something you do every day in the messages that you provide and in the way that you communicate. So I think that's one of the problems.
I just felt I was looking in a mirror because they seem to capture all of the discomfort and clumsiness that we all bring, I think, to this issue. It's a lot for parents to realise that their children are sexual beings, or